doing today, guys? Welcome back to my channel and to the 4th episode of Transport Fever. Now, one little thing I noticed is every time you load a game back in, you have to find what you want to turn off again and turn everything off again that you don't want, because it resets every time you load a game. So that's something you might need to remember. Alright, but now, where was I? We've got it on pause. Let's take it off pause. Now, actually, I remember saying I was going to try and be a little more aggressive as far as using money, and I've actually got over $1 million sitting in the bank right now. I believe I finished everything setting up this line, taking the planks to the tool factory, and I believe it's also going to have some passengers as well. Now, after having some more experience in my own play on some other maps I've been working on in between recording videos, now I have kind of noticed these lines that have mixed cargo and passengers. It seems like later on they tend to struggle a little bit, and eventually I've ended up splitting them up into two different lines just because it seems like they struggle. I don't know, it might be partly just because of the increased cost of trains later on, then you start having them unnecessarily take extra time, going back and forth to these different things, trying to do two different things. It just seems like it doesn't necessarily help either. So that's something I'm going to have to keep an eye on as time goes on, is this train going to be able to maintain profitability trying to do two different things? Now, one thing I can see is we've got a lot of people waiting on line 3, which I think is this one. And you know what? Let's try and get some of these names sorted out. Said I was going to try and do that, and it does simplify some things. Let's Yuma, West Valley. So I've got 69. By the time he gets there, there's probably going to be 70 plus people waiting. Now the curious thing is, though, is he can't even get a full load coming from West Valley back to Yuma, so... But still, it might be worth tacking an extra car onto that train just because how much business wants to go to West Valley. What's he got sitting there right now? I mean, there really doesn't seem to be that much demand wanting to go from West Valley to Yuma, but yeah, I might stick an extra car on anyway, just because how many people want to go from Yuma. Okay, he's got a full load, and he's got a full load waiting there. Let's fix this. How many people have we got waiting? He's already got a full load built up there. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to add any more cars onto this train yet, but it is something I should keep an eye on. Okay, now where... Actually, let's see, how much money am I making? Ooh, so well... Technically, we were losing money so far, but we just barely started the year, so we should be fine. But we're only making about $500,000, actually, not that much. So let's try and look for the possibilities of getting another passenger line. You know what? Actually, let me before I do that, let me check my individual lines. And they're all showing green so far. Although sometimes I think it's actually get a better read on it if you just go individually, and this guy's done pretty good. Yeah, good enough anyway. Honestly, he's only just barely getting 100,000, not quite 100,000 a couple of those years, which is kind of sketchy, but still, it's a profit. This guy, he hasn't been running very long, but in the last couple of years, he made a decent profit. And then what about this one? So yeah, it looks like everybody's making profits, and then we can look at our road lines, but honestly your road isn't that big of a concern, because your road is basically just to support your rail lines, just making sure your rail lines are getting fed, so those aren't that big of a deal. Okay, so where would the next place want to go? I've kind of eyed Evansville. I mean, I don't think it's probably the next closest to anything. Although I will have to get over this terrain there, but I mean, that's not too bad. It's only a little short span of bad terrain there. And we do have a little bit better engine available that should be able to handle without too much difficulty. And let me double check here. I've still got some room. I could take out some more loans if I need to. Okay, now, how do I want to get the track over there? I probably take it out from this direction, because there's fewer roads to cross if I go that way. That, and I think it leads me to this ground here, which isn't quite as bad, so yeah, let's take it out from that direction. As a matter of fact, I'll take it out from all the way out here, just so I don't have to make another road crossing there. Yeah, I don't know if that's just that big of a deal. I just like to try and avoid making those crossing roads as much as possible. I do not want to make any flipping tunnels. What? Oh, that terrain is a lot more uneven than I realized. What if I make a sidewinder? Dude, maybe we can avoid. Okay, now here we go. Yeah, so no, making a wiggly track like that, it will decrease how quickly my train gets back and forth, but overall I think it will be less expensive than trying to put a tunnel or some kind of weird bridge or something like that. Okay, it's not too bad. Ouch. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. No, I do not want to do that. Okay, now before I go any farther, let's figure out where do we want the station. Now, it is still a good idea to check where your residential is, but honestly, I've kind of, compared to what I did in Train Fever, in this game, I've kind of just not even really worrying about how close my station is to residential, because I almost always completely rely on bus or carriage or whatever to get my people there. But it is a good idea to try and get at least some residential in your catchment area. Yeah, okay, that doesn't look real good, I know, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of time trying to get it to work right. I mean, and once you get on into later phases where you're not worried about money problems as much, you could almost completely even do away with any concern about the rail station being inside the catchment area. For me, it's almost just completely a non-concern. That actually makes almost no difference in price when I go with the 160 meter versus 80, so I might as well just go with the 160 meter. And so if I make it like right there, I will get a few residential areas in my catchment area. Not that much, and I'm willing to presume that this is going to expand closer towards the station, most likely. So that way he will get some business independent of the, whatever my carriage and bus bring him. And gotta not do that. But I don't think I'm going to have a choice. You know what? Instead of that, honestly, I thought that wasn't the best idea, but maybe just following the road. Now, see, it won't let me do that though. Okay, here we go. I still can't skirt along the road. I thought maybe that would level up to the road, but I think it's too big of a slope to get away with. Okay, so it looks like... Oh, wait, no, we must have got some more money in. Okay, so now we've got that set up. However, it looks like I will need a loan to get the bus. Well, maybe not necessarily the bus infrastructure, but definitely the vehicles. Oh, wait, our maintenance costs must have come due. So now we've lost a little bit of money. So let's see, do I want to pull the loan out? Or is there a train? There's actually a train getting ready to come in here in a second. This guy coming and going, he's coming, so he's going to be a while before he makes his profit. But let's just speed up time. Let's see how much money this guy gets us, because I want to avoid taking out a loan as much as possible. Honestly, that didn't get us that much, so yeah, let's just go ahead and take out another loan. But once I get this set up, though, I'm probably actually going to want to actually get some of my loans paid off, because I don't think I have that much more room to take out more loans. Yeah, I think I'm going to need 2 for everything. Let's actually pause it just to make sure that money doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so I could set up a bus there. What if I set it up there? Now the train station itself is already getting some of these folks down here at the end, so I'm not too worried about them. That right there, that's just perfect. That gets almost the whole town. Alrighty, and then probably quicker maybe to go this way, so leave that one there just to make sure so they can get to the station. Alright, there we go. What's that? What city is this? It's Evansville. Alright, so Evansville, public transport. Let's see, where do I need to put the road depot down? Because we're way too far away from Yuma to send vehicles all the way over there. Alright, that's a pretty short route, but you have to account for how slow the carriages are. So let's just take 3 for now. That might be enough, although, I mean, usually I would go with 4 or 5 in most of my setups, but such a short route, I think 3 might be able to supply it fairly well. Okay, so that's all we need to do on that end, and that end's all we need to do because everything's already set up over here. Now I do need to add a signal though. On both tracks there. And honestly, there should already be a signal over here somewhere on this end. But I can't see it. Did I not put one over here? Well, that actually may be contributing to why I have so many people waiting. Well, you know, actually I probably knew what I was thinking at the time, but yeah, it'd probably be better if I just put a signal over on this side. Okay, and now that should be plenty for a engine and a couple of cars. Now, which depot, though, do I want to draw this from? It makes most sense to do it from this one. However, to do that, yeah, let's make a track. Just so he can get to it a little bit easier. No, that's not right. I don't think it was. Okay, yeah, I think I did. No, it's not. You booger. Okay, that's correct. And now, however, I also do need to set up the line. I didn't do that either. Okay, so from Yuma to Evansville. Let's go ahead and get that name squared away right now. Alright, now where's my depot? Here it is over here. Alright, now there is a little bit of rough terrain there, so we want the best engine possible. This guy's got more power and tractive effort, so plus a little bit extra speed, although very little extra. But still, we'll take it. So he's going to cost me 300k, a little bit more. This guy cost me 270k. I could do another one of the big cars, or I could do a Bavarian, which is a little bit cheaper. Yeah, let's just do that. See how that works. I don't know, Yuma Evansville, that's one. Now, ready. So now that way I have successfully squandered most of my money that I had available. So now I just need to relax a little bit and wait for my current trains to come in. And now actually it's kind of hard to notice there at first, but he is on a little bit of a upgrade there, so he is slowing down some. Now that might be affected though by the fact that it's a 120-ton train in total. And I'm pretty sure he's got to be the heaviest of any of my trains. And actually I have not, okay, yes, we do have tool production going in. I had completely forgotten to even take a note of that. However, it doesn't look like, I don't think he's producing anything at the moment because I think he went through all the supply of planks. So honestly, we probably should add another car or two carrying planks to this train. He's carrying a total of 35. Although honestly, there aren't that many sitting here waiting. But I think that's probably because I don't think he's getting very efficient supply from over here. I think I only have, was it 3 wagons? Yeah, I think I just have 3 wagons that only haul 4 each moving back and forth, and I can see how much, there's a lot waiting here. So yeah, I could, that looks like it would be very sensible actually to add probably another car onto that train and probably stick another wagon onto this route, moving the timber back and forth. But I don't have the money to do that right now, though, anyway. Now I've been doing a bit of playing on some other scenarios in between my recording, and I'm very comfortable in saying that really passengers are your best starting route. Now cargo, I mean, I have seen it be, I mean, it has been wildly successful in many cases once you get it going, but it takes a lot more money usually to get everything set up for cargo. I mean, but I have also noticed at times that there's just a lot of various possible kinks involved with cargo that you have to constantly be looking for. And most of them, I think I've kind of figured out, but it took me a little while to figure it out, what was holding up the demand or the production and things. And there's just a lot of different aspects of that you have to kind of stay on top of, or you won't make money, or at least not as much as you should be. And in some cases, you may actually end up losing money if you don't find the kinks in the system real quick. I mean, with the passengers, it's a lot less of a hassle to set up at first. I mean, you could... it would probably be very sensible just to make several passenger lines before you even started any cargo. I mean, it just largely depends though on how close together the relevant facilities are to each other. I mean, if you're fortunate and you have all the facilities you need in a close proximity to each other, then yeah, you could probably get away with starting cargo a little bit earlier. I mean, I've still kind of got my eye on getting the food over here to the processor there and supplying these towns, but I think I'm probably just going to wait a little bit longer before I worry about that. New 685. I must have had 2 trains probably just came in, because that's a lot of money that just showed up out of somewhere. Okay, yeah, I've got 2 trains. I think they both just docked over there. So that's where all that money came from, and he just recently dropped off his load, so actually I think he had 3 come home. And then he is just finally making his way up there. As a matter of fact, that's actually enough money. I can repay one of my loans right now. And I might as well speed up time a little bit here. Actually, that's one thing I had not noticed, is I do not have a way for a train coming out of there to get into this depot. I don't think I could make a track in there. I could try it. Let's see. I mean, track laying is a little bit more forgiving in transport fever than it was in train fever, certainly. Yeah, but that's not it. Yeah, see, it doesn't. Okay, hell with it, I'll just have to put it down and see if it works. And curvature, I think, is only getting tighter, so... no, that's not going to work. Actually, I think I know what would work, is I could take a track out, whip it around here, and then just do a straight across right in there. I could do something like that, and that would work. Let me see. Oh wait, yeah, hit paused. Paused. Okay, you should have went the other way, but that's simply taken care of. Just turn your butt around. And now you should head on over to Evansville. "14 passengers on board." Well, I'll wait till it gets a little bit closer to Toledo, and then I'll see if I want to just run him in the depot and not worry about the passengers on board. See how much money I've got in the bank by the time he gets there. Let me see how many planks we've got waiting here. He's already got about a full load's worth waiting. You know, and actually, what year is it? It's 1867. I don't think I get the next cargo vehicle available, the next size wagon, until 1870, but, well, it's almost 1868 right now. It's not that far away, so I might just wait until then before I do any upgrades on that line. That might make the most sense. Where are you? I don't know, I do kind of, I don't know, I kind of want to get a track set up going in here that they can get into this depot, though, from the station. And that's just kind of, yeah, I think I'm going to do that regardless. May be somewhat unnecessary, but that's just the way I want it. Oops, not there. Ah, but of course this thing does not want to make that easy, it doesn't look like. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. it's not quite a connection, but that's very close that I think I should be able to get it connected. There we go. Or wait, too much curvature. Curvature from what? And now I lost the money. Curvature. Let's complain about curvature. I don't think that's not a connection, it's crossing. Let me see, let me just... If I just run it out over here, maybe from here it will work. I don't know, wait, there we go. Okay, so that was a little more of a pain than I thought it would be. I don't think I need any signals on that. It's gonna be, it should get such infrequent usage. Shouldn't be a concern. Now let's see how much have you got over here. It's 4 left over, 5, so yeah, if I'm not going to increase the wagon running between those right away, there, I don't think there's much point in increasing the cars on the train either. He is getting a full load of passengers, though, as well, so that's good. As a matter of fact, here is our train coming from Evansville. He got a few people. Doesn't look like this line has kicked up too much interest yet, but hopefully over time that should change. Yeah, so there's not too much fuss over that, but that's kind of normal starting out. And I might as well check how much. Let's see, we're only supplying 5% of the tool demand for Yuma, so we definitely do want to try and get everything in this chain upgraded as soon as possible. But considering I just paid off a loan, probably it's going to be, I mean, a couple of years is probably about right anyway. And that will nicely coincide with my, the next cargo wagon that I'm able to get anyway. And that one I think is a little bit faster and just slightly more capacity. In fact, how old are these? These guys are only 10, but not, yeah, they're only about 10 years old, so I won't necessarily need to replace them soon, although, I don't know, I might think about opting to replace them anyway, as soon as I get the next size wagon available. Just because of the speed difference between the two. Now, if I was going to expand another passenger line, probably. I would probably go to Birmingham. I mean, whatever I do, I kind of think I want to do it from Toledo. So, and I've got 3 options. I mean, Wichita Falls going to need a bridge construction, like Manchester, Birmingham would. But I'm not sure. It might be a little bit shorter, but I don't think there's much difference there. Yeah, I'll think about it. I don't think it's going to be too much difference, although I don't think this terrain in between Wichita Falls and Toledo, it's not as flat as it looks from a distance. So I don't think either of them are necessarily going to be inexpensive to build with or without a bridge. I mean, in some ways, I think Birmingham may be a little bit easier. It's just I could probably build a bridge around here and then just kind of follow the edge of the coast there. I think that's relatively even terrain down here, right up to the town. What have we got here? 2 iron ore facilities. And there's a place that needs iron ore, and we have a coal mine up here, so that's something to look at in the future. We've got some decent proximity there. And we've also got pretty decent proximity between 2 food producers here and a food processor. And that is very good proximity to Detroit, and that's not bad to Birmingham either. I think that actually is better than this is to any of these 3, it looks like. Plus I might have to ship it. I think it's a little bit longer haul to ship it from where it needs to go compared to these 2. Although, once again, that's going to require a bridge, but, I mean, in the long run, though, a bridge doesn't really cost you much money to maintain, although there probably is some infrastructure cost to that, but compared to the profit you should be making, it should be insignificant. So there is some potential growth to look forward to. And we got 700K, let's repay another loan. And I guess one thing that I never have shown that maybe I should is you have like the, it's kind of a first person view that you can right along the tracks. Of course time is a little bit accelerated still, so it looks like it's pretty fast. And I think you just click to get out of that. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting. Oh, you know what? Actually, what's probably the most interesting thing of that, though, that you'd probably be interested in, if you haven't seen it before, would be... See, I don't think I can do it. Let me find... There's what I want. That's what I want. This train is just getting ready to come into town, and that is the Kansas City West Valley line.
Hey.
Okay, so that's where this guy's going. So now let's hit play. This is actually not the view as what it was, so I guess maybe that's changed since the pre-release version. Because it used to be that I saw from the YouTube videos, if you hit that camera view on a person and they went inside the train, you would actually be able to see from inside the train car. But it looks like that's changed now. Now it just gives you a ultra close-up view of the train. Which, honestly, I think you could pretty much get that view or pretty close to it already. But it's an interesting thing. You can kind of see right on the front of the train now. And you can do it with aircraft as well. And of course, I suppose you could do it with ships, but as slow as ships goes, that's probably not going to be that interesting. Alrighty. How many people we got stacked up here? So yeah, I think both of those trains actually might be ready to tack extra car onto each of them, but I don't think I got the money to do it right now. Well, I could put one of the variant cars on. That I could do. Yeah, because all of a sudden, but and that's one of the things I've mentioned is it does fluctuate a little bit how much people will you have going back and forth between town. Because now there's a whole bunch here at West Valley, and not that many in Yuma. Well, last time I looked, it was the other way around. Because he's got about twice the people that he has a capacity to carry currently waiting. But those kind of things, they do tend to, sometimes it's not as overwhelming demand as it looks, because it changes a little bit. However, it would give me a little extra money-making capacity that eventually probably would come through. So yeah, probably their next trip around, yeah, I'll try and add another car on there. But in the meantime, I think we probably want to wrap this video up here pretty quickly. Looks like he's going to get his stack of lumber there. So it looks like everything's working good. Alrighty, well, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And thanks for watching.